Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're heading deep into a vibrant, buzzing place called the Jingle Jungle to unpack an absolutely fantastic narrative from Moral Stories Hub. It's called Toro and the Tiny Tickle Power Triumph. Now look, this isn't just your standard run-of-the-mill animal fable. We're gonna really dive in and unpack how strategic teamwork and honestly, a massive shift toward kindness can conquer literally the biggest, most intimidating obstacles you can imagine. So get ready, because we're about to break down exactly how the absolute smallest creatures engineered a truly massive victory.
So let's kick things off with a pretty crucial question. Can a tiny ant actually outsmart a giant elephant? I mean, this perfectly sets up our David versus Goliath narrative, right? It gets right to the very heart of today's lesson. We so often just naturally assume that physical size, brute strength, or even just being the loudest dictates who holds the power in any environment. But what happens when the literal smallest entity in an ecosystem decides to challenge the absolute largest? Just keep that question in the back of your mind as we analyze this whole strategy.
All right, moving into Section 1, the Jingle Jungle Bully and the problem with Toro the Terrific. Okay, so picture this. The Jingle Jungle was once this community in total perfect harmony. You had monkeys giggling on vines, parrots squawking jokes, just a great vibe. Right up until our main problem announced himself with this massive ground-shaking stop. He literally says, "Make way. Toro the Terrific has arrived. Strongest, loudest, best at everything." It brilliantly illustrates the sheer, unchecked arrogance of the problem here. Toro the elephant was basically the jungle's biggest show-off. He was this giant who used his immense size strictly to intimidate, rather than to actually help anyone. And as you know, when leadership or power is rooted entirely in boasting and just dominating others, well, it instantly creates some major friction in the environment. And the impact of all this bullying wasn't just, slightly annoying, it was highly disruptive to everyone. Momo the monkey faced falling bananas just from some random gravity test Toro decided to perform, while Tico the tortoise, he literally had his special picnic salad completely ruined by a blast of air. Toro's total lack of kindness created real, genuine fear and chaos for these smaller animals who were really just trying to go about their daily routines. He was essentially tearing the whole community apart just for his own amusement. But the actual catalyst for this entire story, it happens right here. Toro targets a line of hardworking ants who are just carrying their prized mango jam. He looks down and goes, well, tiny travelers, you look thirsty." A surprise. Splash. By heartlessly soaking these ants and completely ruining the food they had worked so hard to gather, Toro pushed the absolute smallest members of the jungle way too far. I mean, he literally told them to just go dry up on a leaf, completely dismissing their value. Big mistake. Which brings us to Section 2, a tiny but mighty plan, where the ants finally draw the line.
So, as you might guess, the ants didn't just accept defeat. Instead of drying up on a leaf like they were told, this ant named Aru calls a midnight meeting inside a hollow tree root, beautifully lit by these little lantern bugs, by the way, to push back. And the result? Operation Jumbo Jumbo. As we've defined it here, it's a sneaky, coordinated strategy relying on tricks, teamwork, and just a tiny bit of tickle power. The absolute crucial point to take away here is that they knew their own limitations. They knew for sure they couldn't win with brute strength against an elephant. So they engineered a highly specific, highly tactical solution based entirely on collaboration and utilizing their own unique, tiny advantages. Let's move right into Section 3. Teamwork teaches a lesson. It's time for executing Operation Jumbo Jumbo. Under a silver moon, while Toro was snoring literally louder than thunder, they put this giant mission into motion. Step 1, paint panda eyes. Step 2, apply jungle itch powder right to his ears. And Step 3, the big finish, drop sneeze syrup directly into the trunk. Now notice how flawlessly synchronized this teamwork is? That's vital. If even one single ant fails their specific task, the whole operation falls apart. They relied entirely on collective effort rather than individual heroics, and their timing had to be absolutely everything. And let me tell you, the results were immediate and totally explosive. These tiny ingredients triggered a mighty sneeze that literally shook the treetops. His ears started itching like 1,000 fleas were having a party in there. Trying to run away, he slips on banana peels and rolls right into the mud like a giant log. The humorous juxtaposition here is just fantastic. Think about it, the self-proclaimed strongest animal in the entire jungle, completely undone by a single drop of sneeze syrup and some slippery peels. And then, from deep inside the elephant's trunk, Aru the ant delivers this absolutely defining quote. Not magic, teamwork, and tickle powder.
You see, Toro thought he was experiencing some kind of terrifying jungle magic, but Aru explicitly states the winning formula that brought this giant right to his knees. It totally demystifies the victory. It proves, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that a well-executed team plan is way more powerful than magic, and it is certainly more powerful than a bully. Finally, we reach Section 4, the power of kindness and transforming the Jingle Jungle. So Toro finally begs for the sneezing to stop, and he promises to never, ever be a bully again. Now, winning the battle wasn't just about punishing him, it was really about creating lasting change. If we compare his past actions, ruining picnics and splashing ants, to his new ones, building crumb bridges and providing gentle showers, we perfectly visualize the immediate positive impact when a community member actively chooses kindness. The very next morning, literally with mud still stuck in his ears, Toro made a choice. He channeled all that massive size and strength away from destruction and directed it completely toward construction. And the ripple effects of this choice? Just incredible. Peace officially returned to the Jingle Jungle. He started providing gentle showers for the thirsty birds. He built those crumb bridges for the very same ants he used to torment. I mean, he even danced joyfully with the monkeys. By transforming from the biggest bully into the biggest helper, Toro elevated the entire ecosystem. It just shows that kindness is an active choice, and right here, it turned an environment of fear into an amazing environment of mutual support and joy. As we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with this final thought. Even the absolute smallest creature can teach the biggest lesson. So how will you use your teamwork today? We've seen firsthand that you don't need to be the biggest or the loudest to make a massive impact. With a bit of strategic teamwork, some solid collaboration, and a genuine commitment to kindness, you can overcome giant obstacles and positively transform your own environment. So take a second to think about your own Jingle Jungle. Who can you team up with, and how can you choose kindness today?